My name is Keely Wimberly, and this is my final presentation for English 112. The subject of my research that I did was sexualization in advertisement, and the thesis that I used was by providing examples of modern companies using sex in advertising their product, showing the effects of oversexualization in women, mostly teenagers, and providing an interview with Christine McDonald on her experience with sexualization. This essay will provide the issue and prove the issue of oversexualization in modern society. How I conducted my research was basically that I used the NC Live database as well as some YouTube videos such as the interview with Christine McDonald, and I used .org and .edu websites, so I knew that I was using reliable sources. Some of the findings that I had was that 17% of men were sexualized in 2009, which is a 55% increase, and 83% of women were oversexualized, which is an 89% increase. Sexualization and objectification suggests low self-esteem to younger girls, which can lead to depression and self-shame. Objectified girls are being groomed to accept the passive role of object, which is the main source of power for her is her appearance. And a quote from Christine McDonald in the interview she did with Kirsty TV on YouTube was that she was sexually abused by one of her schoolmates, and she thought it was kind of ironic now, but then she took it as validation that she was pretty. I learned that there's a lot of sexualization in the world today, and a lot of it is due to the issues and the facts that younger people are able to have access to technology and know how to get their way around technology at younger ages. So people have a lot more access to things like pornography or different magazines such as Rolling Stone magazines, and a lot of them have oversexualized men and women on the covers. A conclusion that I had is, in modern society and this culture, oversexualization is a problem and it's incredibly common. This is incredibly evident in advertisements such as Sky Vodka and Rolling Stone, like I've said previously. If the media would stop or limit sexualization and objectification of women, the standard of appearance would ultimately vary according to the inner expectations rather than what society makes everybody think they need to expect with people. So if Rolling Stone would have their women cover up and not in such vulnerable positions, or men would be able to, cover up more, then there would be a lot less higher standards based on just society and television, and so it would be a lot more equal for everybody. Some of the claims that were made were that sex in advertising is pornographic and it dehumanizes and objectifies people, especially women, and it fetishizes products and imbues them with an erotic charge. And that's a quote from Jean Kilbourne from the Advanced Inquiries book. There's another one, magazine corporations, especially alcohol advertisements, are notorious for being overly sexual with women's body and suggesting that women are an object, and to obtain the object, all men had to do was to obtain and drink that type of alcohol or buy that magazine to get what they need. And that's a claim that I made, and to support that claim, Denami, which is a source that I used, stated that these advertisements portray over-the-top sexualized gender stereotypes. Men are laid back and hot shots, and women are portrayed as objects. Some of the logos, pathos, and ethos that I used were people are becoming sexually active at young ages, and it's worrying parents. A quote from Gurian, which is another source that I use, is that parents can either contribute to the sexualization and let the kids, base everything of themselves on society and what people expect, or they can play a protective and educative role. Some of the statistics to support that are from LSE research, which is in 7% of the UK 11 to 16-year-olds have been sent some type of sexual message. 4% have seen a sexual message posted online, and at the age of 12, 2 to 3% had seen some type of sexual message or had been given or sent one, and 14% of the 16-year-olds had received or seen some type of sexual message, and that's the logos. Some of the pathos is that Christine McDonald, she had to go through torment and depression, and she had to take a bullet to her self-esteem because at 14 she was diagnosed with a really, really bad skin disease. And in her mind at that age, giving men and feeling pretty was what was all she had. So she had to feel pretty, so what she did was she stripped, and that's how she felt pretty. And another thing said by Gurian is that sexualization and objectification suggests low self-esteem to younger teens, which can lead to depression and self-shame. Some of the ethos examples that I used was in 2007, reports done by the APA task force states that objectification and sexualization have negative effects on girls, such as cognitive, emotional, and mental problems, and some stunts in the physical health and sexual development. To support that claim, the Canadian Women's Health Study stated that objectified girls are being groomed to accept a passive role of object, and their main source of power is their appearance. And a quote said before by Christine McDonald is that she was sexually abused and it was validation that she was pretty. And this is my site sorted. Done.